or new people, or people my age, the old farts. There's no kind of smell like an old fart. Oh, holy moly! I know. I used to work in a hospital, and then now I'm on the other side. And whew, eek. But anyway, I digress. Okay, so I started out this title with I don't want to be a king or a president. You people that complain and can find anything wrong, you'll find a place to do it and say it. I want to give a shout out to the Orange Man. Now, calm down. I know that this is a life or death situation. That is a game that they're playing right now. Okay. But where's the problem? Th- We used to have a creator of heaven and earth, and he was the boss of us, right? Go to the wilderness, praise and worship me. I'll feed you. Your clothes will never wear out. I mean, what? I don't know. I'd rather have that what kind of stuff that they would sell you in Egypt? Pancake, waffle, something or another. Okay, was it? We literally asked the creator of heaven and earth to give us one of those types of leaders, and it keeps going that way. That has never stopped. If you're voting, if you're a registered voter, you are in that group. Well, I think that this person will do better. No, no, they won't. No, they won't. Doesn't matter if they are red or blue. They're not going to do any better. They can't. By the time they pass something that's good for the people, uh, before it even kicks in, they'll come up with a reason not to do that. All right. Yeah. Every action gets an equal and opposite reaction. Okay. So anyway, I digress. So we had the creator of heaven and earth. He gave us all these deals, and the book Bible says, "Consider his many benefits." So what about these? What are the benefits? Okay. Oh, well, you're going to have to read about it. It's any type of benefit that you have, you're going to have to learn about it. Okay. So we said, We don't want you to be our king or whatever we didn't want. We decided that um, we wanted something else. We wanted a king because we looked around and everybody had a king. They look good, they dress up nice, they got uh, chariots and they wear gold and stuff like that. There, and so the average person, that's what the average person would see. All right, whenever they come through, everybody had to get out of the way so that they could go to the store. You know what I'm saying? I think the Orange Man did that once. He got the National Guard out there, or um, reservists or something out there, and he was, moving all the people around, and so they get out of the way so he could have a photo op, and a photo op with him holding a Bible. And the thing is, he's kind of a deliberate uh, guy. There's a term for people like that, but I wasn't really thinking of it, but I knew it when I seen it. So he's taking a photo op, and the Bible that he was holding was upside down. Okay, so if he was a person who read the Bible, he would probably know that the Bible has a front and it has a back. So if you're going to refer to it, it's bad enough if you have a Bible and if you're going to hold it up, the way the camera is, it's going to show everything backwards anyway. So for him to use that photo op and have the Bible and it's upside down, it just didn't go well for him. The things that he doesn't really intend, doesn't really go his way. Okay. So anyway, so we are the problem. So what the creator of heaven and earth said to the people, because when you love somebody, you'll always want to talk to them. You always want to give them a shot. Okay. So they told him, or we told him in the third person, we want a king. So the first thing that came out of the creator's mouth, he said, "Let me tell you something. If you get a king, he's going to take your sons. They got the draft that's coming back. This isn't anything new. What we had the draft whenever we were coming up, but most of us did go in as a volunteer, right? But the wars just before us, when we were of age, uh, they had the draft. So the draft isn't new. It's just new to you. But that's what you have when you have a king. That's why they had the No Kings rally. Okay. Some of them, you know, might know uh, some things. So, for example, the Orange Man response was like, "I'm not a king." Okay, he probably meant that. But the ones that were trying to have a jib at him or something, they were like, "No more kings or no kings rally." I remember thinking, just because I have a sense of humor, I was like, "Well, haven't you guys ever read that story about the emperor has no clothes?" You would have had to have read that story to kind of get it. I think it was a children's story. So anyway, I digress. So let's get back to where I was before I started going down a rabbit trail. Now I will do that. One of the reasons why I do that is because I want the logarithm or a logarithm to put me in different uh, for you pages. So if I don't have one specific subject, the logarithm will put me in different places. All right. So if I just wanted to just get on here and just talk about the Orange Man, then the logarithm will put me in for you pages like that. I mean, that's fine. There's new people there. There's people from all groups that I would ask to like the video and subscribe to my channel. And I want to be fair. I want to tell them that I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers so that I can have ads put in there, and I might be able to generate a couple of dollars. I found that someone had recommended that I do something with Switch or Titch or um, something uh, like the day before yesterday, and it says that they actually pay more. So I don't know. Whenever I'm on something, I tend to go. I tend to stick with it. So I'm on YouTube. So um, I've been on YouTube since about 2012 first came out, but I wasn't telling you what it used to be. First we joined it, and it was a little bit different then. It had the same functions and stuff, but uh, it was these sort of things have never happened, and that's because we want a king. Okay, that's what we asked for. The creator of heaven and earth never dawned on him that whatever he was giving us, he was feeding us clothes. That, oh, hey, stinking. Okay, so he never really thought about a better option. There is no better option than serving the creator of heaven and earth. Here, let me help you. How do I serve the creator of heaven and earth? Well, it's pretty simple. Okay. All right. Uh, don't want a king. Give until it hurts. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that he whosoever shall believe in him shall have everlasting life. Okay, that's that's how you know Just anybody who says that, that's the one. Oh, okay. Nobody else is going to say that. Okay. So that's all right. So that's how you do it. Okay. Whatever's in front of you, whoever you're talking to, whoever you're listening to, they tend not to say anything about the kingdom. Uh, it was like, well, who, who is God? How do we know? They said, if you have seen me, then you have seen the Father. I and the Father am one. So now he wasn't done. He said, I only do what I saw the Father do, and I only say what I heard the Father say. So it's pretty simple. That's all you have to do. If you don't know what the Father said, if you come for it, it is to come to you. It's not going to be. If you look at TV, oh, did I say oil? Oh yeah, we could get the oil, but we could take it if we want to. Oh boy, want to have it. And it's just a whole thing. I think it's a different way of living. Okay, so this you uh, you might want to pay jurisdiction. Why do I owe you? Stuff like that there, but they still just keep coming back, keep coming back. I almost saw the name of it, but it's something. And what's the matter with you? If you can't, that might not be the way to go. Okay, you have to respond. Okay, if it's something that you like, okay, you respond. But if it's something that you don't like, hey, who's on here? Grand Rising. Sorry, I came on a little later, but I did it backwards. I did my YouTube video first. I mean, my Facebook video first, and now I'm doing this one. But I try to do both, even though I could take this video and share it to Facebook and to X at the end of it. But the problem is, however long this takes, it takes up to 24 hours for this video to process on YouTube. They're processing it to put in my videos. I say videos or something. So if you want to ban, like, go to my say videos, and you can just videos. Again, I started since what way back in 2012. Okay, so when I started, they might have made some suggestions about how to get new viewers and stuff like that, but I really wasn't into that. I just liked it as an outlet, and it was my way of preaching the gospel to the ends of the earth. I didn't know. Uh, I knew that I could make a couple of pennies off of doing the videos, but you know, that's not where my head was at that time. But now that I'm starting to get some subscribers, I'm learning the tool. Hey, if you subscribe to my channel, I'll subscribe to yours. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers. I hope you are as well. A lot of times somebody will say something like, "Oh, I don't have a YouTube channel." And I'm like, "Oh, how do you have a YouTube channel if you're listening channel?" So getting on to YouTube using somebody else's uh, channel, it's just it isn't on my radar. I never would have thunk it. So anyway, I digress. So let's get back to the Orange Man. Okay, game. Okay, gamer. Grand Rising again. Okay, MJ, what do you think? Let's get back on the subject here. Okay, so the subject matter is I don't want to be your king, and I don't want to be a president. They all do. Actually went to a war zone. Okay, they took pictures of them in this version. Could you send us some troops or something like that? Right? I don't know. And yeah, he became or a president. That's because we didn't always have. We've always had. I've been here. but the kingdom of heaven and earth. Following the kingdom of heaven and earth is like having a news channel, watching the news, and they only report good stuff. Nobody's going to watch it. Okay, now, we have to watch news and hear about breaking news. Everything is breaking news. I mean, every day breaking news. What are you saying? Okay, so every day that's what they want. Uh, Stuff that keeps you in what they call low vibration, and you may hear of stuff, and you may be like, "Oh, that's witchcraft," or "Oh, that's bad." The only thing I can tell you is it isn't the stuff that they came up with, and they gave it to the slaves. And the problem with that is they took out parts of it. Like, for example, the Book of Enoch. And to this day, there will be people who should know better because they are influencers or leaders who'll tell you that, oh, we don't read the Book of Enoch. Okay. Or the Book of Enoch is not valid or something like that there. And you would think that person who's going to be an influencer learned response or something like that. So it turns out that the Book of Enoch is really descriptive of the people who this book is for. Okay, and it wasn't the slave book or the slave Bible. Okay, so the Book of Enoch didn't make it. And there's several other books that did not make it into the um, in the United States. It's using an example. If you have a different example, then do video. And I'll like and subscribe to your channel if it comes up on my For You page because I'm not going to go searching for people. I think it's better to have people find the people that they were picking be the president. Okay, so he said, "Oh hey, Liz Sanchez, welcome aboard, Grand Rising." So he said, "I cannot tell a lie. I cut down the cherry tree. Did you know that he was not the first president? All right. And the people who were the presidents and stuff, number one, they didn't have their name called presidents, but president, not so much. All right. The people who were doing was, you can't make this up. Wait for it. Wait for it. Everybody knows how important flags are. Free, free Palestine. Everybody knows that flag. Okay. Um, oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early night? Everybody knows that flag. Okay. But nobody has told you about the flag that the Moors had. Okay. You can look it up. I'll wait if you want to take a snapshot of it and put it. I was one of the few people who kind of woke up now that our society is full of awakened people. Fake news, fake news. It's all fake news. Using my Orange Man voice. Um, okay, so that's my story on that. So he was saying that they're taking control from the Moors or the Aboriginals or stuff. Okay, this is not stuff that you would learn at church. Okay, so some churches aren't allowed to actually talk about things lose their uh, which can be quite expensive if you want to open every Sunday. Okay, that'll give people time to absorb what they learned last Sunday, walk it out through the next 3 weeks, and then I'm coming with a testimony about what's going on, how well it's going. Okay, so uh, but that's me. It should always be open for prayer. It should always be open to give somebody a couple of sandwiches and maybe some fruit or something like that. There should always be open for that. The Bible says, "Give your tithe and offering, so there will be meat in my house." Why do you keep going to that church and giving them all your money? Okay, so that's something that people like you and me have probably heard sometimes in our life. But be of good cheer. I mean, it isn't over. After you come out of that religious thing, you'll take out the good that you learned from the churches. So, okay, and that's what you'll want to do. So, churches, it's got its good and it's got its bad. But best case scenario, you're only going to use the good, right? Right? Okay. I don't want to be a king, and I don't want to be a president just for that reason. Now they are talking about coming back out command, commanders and stuff for, um, overseas, as long as your kids are coming along with it. So, okay, that's all you have to do. You don't have to go down to Washington D.C. and start throwing Molotov cocktails and stuff like that. No, you just simply have to say it. And what'll happen is once they hear it, it'll do what it's supposed to do inside their mind. They'll reach the same conclusion. Okay. So, for example, okay. So, for example, I may be influencing you, and you're going to hear things I say, and you'll be like, you know what? All right, what is? All right. So that'll solve that problem. If you have a king, um, most times kings they live in their castles. They don't really come out. Okay, they live behind walls and they got guards and stuff like that there, and they don't really pay those people from the king's copper or something like that. They get paid from the people. Okay, so in order for money to have value, after run like that, don't accept their money for value. That's all. And once we stop, okay, we can use their money for things like everyone took what. I don't think people are really going to steal your tomato. I tried to grow one and they get little pests and stuff on it. So I'm like, okay, because I wasn't thinking I had to spray it. Oh boy. So, but I was able to watch it grow because I did it on the front porch. And the only thing I could tell you is nobody ever stole one of them. Okay, except them little bugs that grew on them. All right, so if you're not going to do that, then uh, somebody tricked us a long time ago, thinking that we had to have 3 meals a day. But that really has never been the truth. If you look back at the troglodytes and the Neanderthals, I'm pretty sure they didn't eat 3 meals a day. And if they did eat 3 meals a day, it was when they caught one of them dinosaurs. You know what I'm saying? Sheesh. Right. So, but we lived, we populated the earth, and now here you are. Now somebody figured out a way to get us to do that. Okay, Tom. Okay, no problem. Okay, so I I knew he didn't have a lease whenever he came in, but sometimes it's the way you talk to people and the way you teach people. So now he'll know that whenever he come in, if when he sees that little guy sitting here, he's waiting for his $5. Okay, 'cause I don't want to go over there. Hey, you got to get a lease departure or something. No, If you are going to be working in a community, have a business community known for, "And he made me leave and I was just coming to get coffee or something." All right. You have a responsibility to conduct a business in a way that it doesn't interfere with the flow of commerce. So anyway, that was a we didn't have a I knew it, but I let him go ahead and do that because we have one of those coffee places that's like what is the one that has a little green mermaid on it? Okay, he was going there, and a lot of people when I first started here, that's what they would do. They'd come here and park here and walk down there. It isn't that far, and buy their coffee and come back and I'm getting a car. So I wasn't going to bother them about $5 until I got to thinking, hey, my boss is going to come in here and say, whose car is that down? I had to get people, and it's pretty much the same people because a store like that has its regular customers. Whenever a new manager takes over a business, they get new customers. I don't know if you know this or not. Um, so the old customers probably would kind of, I don't know, move on, and you would get a new set of customers. They actually told me that in business school. Yes, I did. I went to college, and that was one of the things I remembered. In one of those many books that they give you to read, environment where you get books and stuff like that. Number one, I could see their reasoning. You don't want to give a class of 30 people 30 books, and there's 8 classes a day. Okay, so they would just teach you out of their books or something, but you didn't really take books home. But you would get homework, and I guess their thinking was, hey, you would go to the library or something. But kids have book bags for. Uh, all right, so if they're going to school, if you see a kid with a book bag, chances are pretty good there's not 8 books in. Okay, so I'm just saying. So this is why we don't want to have presidents or kings because they will take our stuff, right? They take our taxes, and it's 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 exhausting with taxes. All right, first they take them out before you get paid, and then when you start buying stuff, you unless you know, and then you want something to eat, then you have to pay taxes on that. Reason, okay. This is the thing that happens. Do not want either one. This is the thing that happens. Do not want either one. Okay. So okay. So are there any questions? Are there any questions? Okay. Boy, I started off this morning and it was a little bit chilly, so I put on my hoodie. Phew. And the place where I do my hustle, okay, it doesn't have any tall buildings around, so chances of me catching some shade isn't really that. Sun is just sun is just bearing down on you, and it's the same thing whenever it's windy. Bearing down on you, and it's the same thing whenever it's windy too. Holy moly, there ain't nothing to block that wind. and you have I like the wind. If it's 70 or 80 outside and it's overcast skies or something. Really, hey, do you have a lease? Do you have a lease? Do you know we lease? Oh, I do. Okay, thank you. So, sir, so I'm going to get some more parking passes, and what I'll do is I'll put one under your windshield wiper whenever the boss brings them because we're kind of new. So that way it's blue. So all right, because yeah, yeah, was for terrace parking, and I saw that white thing on your dashboard. So that's not our passes. So I'll make sure you get one, and we'll go over that again later. Okay. No problem. Have a great. Oh, okay. Where are you trying to get? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Cool. 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 So you kind of understand where I'm coming from if you do valet. Okay. Uh, well, did you leave early? Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, it's nice outside. I like this kind of weather. Walking in it. Um, Walking is the fast way to get there. You put one step in front of the other, little brother. Okay. Have a great day. Nice to meet you. Okay. No problem. Okay. All right. So that's my story on that. I love people. He was a white guy, and I may say things about non-melanated. I might say things about non-melanated people, but I like all people. Non-melanated, melanated people. I like them all, even the ones who are specifically having a bad day. So I waited until he was all the way out of his car. Let him. If just they're gonna drive off with that thing, okay? So anyway, I don't know why with that thing, okay? So anyway, I don't know why you would do that. They got your license number, they got your uh, address and everything. Where you going to go? I mean, you might get home so you can be there for your kids after school or something, but um, they know where you are. Young people, you cannot outrun a radio. It is impossible. You can hide, but you can't outrun it. Okay. One of my family members decided that they were going to take a joyride, and it caused a problem. And what they decided to do was throw out the tire strips or something, and that's how they got the vehicle to come to a road stop. If you do, so don't do that. It's redundant, but go ahead and stop at the stop sign. Okay. If the if the light is yellow and green, just go ahead and stop. Okay. The people behind you aren't going to like it, but a person with an experience again is never at the mercy of a person with argument. And I'm telling you from my experience, you want to stop when that light is yellow. Okay. You can't sit there and argue with the guy on the side of the road. Well, it was yellow. Okay. Because you're still going to get the ticket. Right now, now you're spending more time on trying to do the ticket when you could have just stopped. It'll took less than a minute. Okay, so sometimes the crime it doesn't fit the punishment or the punishment doesn't fit the crime or whatever. I don't really keep up with it, but he is in charge. There isn't and to do because it was shortly after Rodney King. I mean, not Rodney King. It was shortly after George Floyd and those shenanigans that those police officers have always done. But now with cameras and cell phones and stuff like that, they can't get away with that like they used to. Okay, they would just write something on a report and it would be a lie, and it was his word against yours, and Of course, you're the only criminal in the room. So anyway, the cop would be able to sustain his position, and you get the fine or maybe go to jail. Well, they can't do that now, right? Because the cops got cameras on them, and everybody's got a cell phone or something, and we want to go viral. So we're going to record you being stopped. So they are aware of that. But what they decided was they got all the police officers to be like, okay, we need y'all to chill and stop pulling people over for these minor infractions, particularly people of color. Not because the people of color are known for not having registration, not driving without a license, because all people are. People of color, people not of color, they all do that. Sometimes there is more month than money. So we'll live paycheck to paycheck. All right. You don't have discretionary $80 every month to do some type of repairs to your car. As especially my turn signal in the right has this quirk. The right rear one. It will uh, flash quickly. All right. So that lets me know if I'm looking at it, I know that my turn signal is off. Now they got three bulbs back there. Okay. Eight of these things. The same thing with just uh, one turn. The way they do now with LEDs and stuff like that, there you don't really have to have three light bulbs back there like you used to. You had to have a for the turn signals, a bulb for the brake, and you'd have to have a bulb for whenever you turn your lights on. It turns them all on basically. But there are three lights back there. Okay, I mean three. You need three light bulbs. So what my car would do was every once in a while I hit a hole or something, and the wire would come loose or something. I don't know, but um, the little turn signal on the inside of the car would flash. All right, so when the cops used to pull you over and say, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And you'd be like, "I don't know why," and they would say it's because you have a busted tail light. Well, that's what they mean. It doesn't. It's not busted out. It's just the bulb that's in the turn signal spot blew out. So now when you're hitting your right turn signal, it's not flashing. So the person behind you doesn't know that you are trying to make a turn. The only way that that's how it was in the beginning. They didn't have turn signals. Okay, notice you got a luxury car. All right. So fine. You know what their universal sign is for a right turn? It's this. So you out the window and the person paying you the attention. One of those little things in little magnets or something that you could put on your license plates and would say fraternal order of police supporter on it. So, I thought as long as I had that, I wouldn't get pulled over. So anyway, as we went through all this rigmarole with unarmed blacks, I'm getting shot. So we got over that. While we were going through that, they did have a place where the police officers clerical. They do not have their own police force to instruct their code enforcements and stuff like that. All right. I mean, they might have one or two that works with parking violations or stuff like that. There, so they give you a ticket for that, but I'm not actually sure if they work for the Department of Transportation. All right. I think they a department in the police a department in the police for it, but the way some people treat them, I bet you they wish they had a gun. Oh, the ticket on my car. Okay. Anyway, I digress. So this is some of the problems I'm still going on with. I don't want to be a president or a king. Okay, because that's the type of stuff that you will have in it. Instead of living in the kingdom of heaven here on earth, giving so others can have food and stuff like that. You were sitting here, and this lady came to a window, and she was, trying to get some money from me. I don't have it. I generally do give to people, but um, uh, I did. I was trying to avoid giving. I'll give to you before I those kind of people, and that's what it's like being in the kingdom of heaven. You'll just give. Remember the saying, "He so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son." Now that is what it is. So if you're going to follow him, you're probably going to do that too. You're going to, you know, you'll become that type of giver. You'll be the type of giver that will be like the Moth and Jean family. So that's got to be something else. I'm pretty sure even the preachers, pastors, and you've never seen anything like that. Holy, but it was like that. An old and I stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, you can't keep doing that. Okay. I mean, after a while, everywhere you go, 1 out of 10 people will have their eye plucked out or something. Okay, what happened to you? Then you'll know. You wouldn't even have to ask. Oh, okay. At some point, you'll know it was the Hatfields and McCoys. All right. And that person probably didn't do anything. They were just from the McCoy family. Get it? So, anyway, the kingdom of heaven here on earth, it's a better way to go. Okay. But just remember, there is something outside of the kingdom of heaven that is also going on. But there is what I like to call the truth that is also true. Okay. So there's one truth. You want to follow that. And there's another truth that people follow that are outside of the kingdom of heaven. So kind of look at it like that. Okay. All right, Luke. So do you, or Luz, do you have any questions? Gamer, do you have any questions?
what 2.5 months or something like that there. So it's easy to do. Don't get thrown off. Oh, a thousand people don't want to hear what I have to say. Well, the one thing I can tell you is, even though I got somebody who is throttling me, I could tell I'm being throttled because I I look at the little man on there that tells me how many people are watching, and periodically it'll shoot up to 15, and then slowly but surely it'll go down. I'm back to zero. So I've been talking to you three for maybe the last 30 minutes, and it shows that there's no people watching. Which when I know there is, because they get my little hearts will go up to some. We first started, we didn't really have to worry about bots and stuff like that. All right. If somebody watched your channel, it was somebody sitting there listening to you. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I digress. Let me end this with a prayer. All right. So, Heavenly Father, the Creator of heaven and earth, whoever answers prayer or whatever answers your prayer, I pray you learn of you to take your burden. Your yoke is light. These are the type of people that are going to help before they're going to take advantage of. So I pray that they get their little protection, that their little hearts are um, not turned to stone, but become strong enough to be. All right, let me see. In the Gospels. All right, let me see. Herd, Herds and animals. All right. Legalize dreamfish. Colorado river toad, cane toad, yopo, Valencia, yopo, Valencia, igbagada, extraloxin, coca, coyote, San Pedro, kratom. Yeah, these are good things. um, as dangerous as cars are, you have to get a driver's license to operate one. Okay, so these things should be legalized. All right, it's the same thing. They might have things that are bad for you, but they're authorizing GMO food. I mean, it's got so bad that we're not even sure if we're eating humans or not. How? How could they do that? They paid somebody. Okay? The Food and Drug Administration. It won't touch the lips of mine or something like that. Nine is the category that they place on fruit, like orange. Wow, what are those things? It was one of the best pizzas of fruit. Oh, an orange kiwi. That is off the chain. I don't know where they came up with that. But for years, we would eat the green kiwi, and it wasn't necessarily always the sweetest thing. But them orange ones are, holy moly. Then they only sell them in certain places, like your local supermarket might not have orange kiwis, but periodically they do. So you got to go in and find out. And everybody knows that most of what's on the inside of the boundaries of the store is not real food. Everybody should know that now. Okay. But, parents still buy it. They still buy that cereal with all the colors in it. Okay. They are actually falling off that a little bit. Some of our super sweet foods now, they're just going back to the original colors. Like uh, whatever color the cereal is now, that's what's in the box. So which is what they had overseas. They don't have Fruit Loops with all the different colors. They got Fruit Loops, but it doesn't have all the colors in it, kind of thing. So yeah, mushrooms. It's good for you, but they have 10 times the amount of the THC in it than anything else. I don't know. I don't know who comes up with this stuff. You and I cannot make this stuff up, but we do know if it's a plant. And if I could dry it out enough to smoke it. Okay, I shouldn't have to worry about somebody kicking in my door because it grows. So they put in this thing where look, you can't grow it. You know, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So, and anyway, all this stuff that herbs and said, yeah, try it. Just be mindful of the ones who are watching you. They're looking for you to mess up and be trying some of that. Then they give you a big old hassle about it. You got to go to court. You got to do all that. So basically, buy your own property, go out on your own land, and smoke until you start smiling. You know what I'm saying? Because these things are good for you. I found that THC A does one for my blood pressure. Mine is usually half something. Okay, but when I do try the THCA, you can't smoke it. I'm like, these people are nuts. They always got something, don't they? So I do find that it takes my blood pressure way down. I could go from 167 in the morning. Go ahead and try some of my THCA. The only thing I don't like about it is the smell. And if I come around Officer in Blue, he's going to be like, I smell something. You know, it's just a whole hassle that I just don't need because of the smell. So apparently you can take it and mix it in a smoothie. So it will have some effects on you, but you don't get but you don't get high. And my point is, I mean, what's the point? Okay, if you're doing it and if you're getting high, it's because you're like self medicating. Everything else around you is causing you to, even want to try that. Okay, light bill, phone bill, gas bill, cable bill, taxes, life, and melanated. Yeah, you was born melanated, you gonna die melanated. Okay, so those type things will make you want to probably use some THCA or some dreamfish, Colorado river toad, cane toad. Okay, okay. If these things were bad for us, they probably wouldn't be here. Now, I understand that piranha is a bad fish, and you might not want to get caught up in the school of piranha. So, I'm not saying that everything that comes from nature is necessarily good for you. I'm not trying to say that. But if you can get the results you're actually looking for, by all means, I'm trying. Okay. So thanks, Herb. All right. Is there anyone else? So again, these are all holy medicines. Right? Goes from 168 down to 106 over whatever. All right, and that's never actually seen that until I started doing the THC A. So it's pretty cool. I understand that the things that you say can and will be used against you in a court of law, but I feel strong enough about it to go ahead and say out in public, it works. It works if you work it. I don't know what your problem is. I don't know what's going on with you, but everybody knows, recently, especially after 2020, about mushrooms. Okay. Well, mushrooms been growing for years on trees and stuff like that. It never would have crossed my mind to go out there and cut one and try to smoke it. Put that in your peace pipe and smoke it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I digress. There's reasons why they like it, and there's reasons why they don't like it. So if you have a job, I would suggest that you try some of these things after work. Don't try them before you go to work. That's going to be a problem. You sign a contract on a place you go, or some of your behavior is, how could you be happy sitting in a tractor? It's 90 degrees outside, and you're listening to music or something. You know what I'm saying? I actually saw I don't know if it was a movie or if it was a YouTube video or something, but there was this guy. He worked on an oil rig or something. So anything with the oil rig, you're not going to be doing that much work on top. So you always have to. Sometimes you have to go under. So the oil rigs are pretty high, so you'd have to be tethered, right? And so he went down. He was tethered and he was doing the work that needed to be done. You know, now he's ready to go. So he tugs on the rope, and the guy who was responsible for him being tethered, he was way up in the air, so he couldn't really see him. All right, I mean, he might have seen him go in, but um, where he went in at and where he was going to come out of, but the and the problem was he couldn't see that the person was having problems, and this thing, the tether is pulling him, and he's getting into a really painful position, and where he needed to come out of the hole, it was waving her arms and stuff like that during the guy in a crane. It's like, yeah, whatever, you know, was probably being bullied, so he didn't respond well to the people trying to flag him down or something. All they were trying to do is get him to stop the crane. Ah, boy. So anyway, pardon me for putting that on your brain there. It's probably a picture that you could have went without seeing today. So anyway, I'm going to go out and get my coffee, and I just love you guys. Okay. Any more questions?